Well, good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday morning and time for our morning devotional. Our title this morning is Your Best Life Later, and our devotional verse is from the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 31. But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. There's a fellow who we're not going to name in this morning's devotional, and he wrote a book entitled Your Best Life Now, 7 Steps to Living at Your Full Potential. Today's devotional is not about the very bad theological implications of that title. All that I'm going to say is that if this life is as good as it gets for you, then you are in deep trouble. Anyone who's read the Bible knows and understands that what awaits believers is far better than anything this life can offer. If this is as good as it gets, you need to get yourself right with God. On the other hand, the best lies do contain some truth, which is why they are effective and easy to believe. Isaiah's prophecy came at a time when God's chosen nation, Israel, was about to enter the Babylonian captivity. The nation would be conquered and scattered. They really had this coming, as God had warned them time and time again what was going to happen. They deserved every bit of this judgment. Yet God was not and is not done with his chosen nation, Israel. For several chapters, he lays out some promises God made to the nation. They would be judged and seemingly vanquished forever, but God also promised that the nation would be restored and that it would be restored eternally. Isn't that great? Even in the face of trial and judgment, God wanted to provide comfort to his people. Nothing has really changed on that account, my friends. We're not Israel, but the basics of this concept apply to us. Have you looked around lately? You're either coming out of a trial, or in one now, or have one lurking just around the corner. And many times our trials are of our own doing. Sometimes we're just getting what we have coming to us for our own bad behavior. But even when we have it coming, God never turns his back on us. Sometimes our trials are a necessary part of what God has planned. That just seems like a bitter pill to swallow, does it not? How can my suffering be a good thing in God's plan? I don't really have the answer to that question because I am not God. All I can say is that I trust in my Heavenly Father that he is in fact working all things to the good of those who believe in him. Friends, just like Israel will be, you will someday be restored by God and be with him in glory forever. That should comfort you as you navigate the trouble in this life. My best life is not now, but in the eternal future. Now that is true if you are one of his. Is this your best life? If so, you need to make a change. Will you make that change today? Have a good day, my friends.